Hi everyone! In today's lesson, we're diving into a key concept in economics: supply. By the end of this video, you'll understand what supply means, how the law of supply works, and what factors, called determinants of supply, can shift the supply curve. Let's get started. Supply refers to how much of a product producers are willing and able to sell at various prices during a certain period of time. Think of it as a schedule. It tells us the quantity businesses are ready to make available at each possible price. When we graph this relationship, we get a supply curve, an upward sloping line showing that as prices rise, producers are willing to supply more. Now here's one of the most important principles, the law of supply. It states that if everything else stays the same, such as the cost of supplies, wages, and other expenses, more products will be offered for sale at a higher price than at a lower price. In other words, when prices rise, producers are motivated to make and sell more because they can earn higher profits. When prices fall, producers cut back since it's not as profitable to produce the same amount. Economists call this idea ceteris paribus, which means all other things being equal. As companies increase production, they eventually reach a point where each additional unit costs more to make than the one before. This is known as increasing costs of production. It happens because resources like labor, machinery, or materials become stretched thin. When everything is running smoothly, workers, machines, and materials, we call that the sweet spot. That's when production is operating at full capacity, but not overextended. Example: imagine a bakery that can efficiently produce 100 loaves of bread per day. At 120 loaves, they might need overtime pay or another oven, increasing costs and reducing efficiency. Now, let's explore what can cause the supply of a product to increase or decrease. These are called determinants of supply, and they can shift the entire supply curve, not just move along it. Here are some of the most common ones. If production costs go down, such as cheaper materials or lower wages, businesses can supply more at each price. When costs go up, supply decreases. When new businesses enter the market, total supply increases. If companies close or exit the market, supply decreases. When firms expand operations or build new factories, their ability to produce increases, leading to higher supply. Producers often decide what to make based on which products bring in the most profit. If biofuel prices rise, a farmer might switch from growing wheat to growing corn for biofuel, reducing the supply of wheat. Some products are produced together. For example, when beef production increases, the supply of leather also increases since both come from the same source, cattle. Weather is a major factor for agricultural goods. Good weather increases crop yield. Bad weather such as droughts or floods reduces supply. When workers are more skilled, motivated, or efficient, output rises and so does supply. Technological improvements, like automation or new software, make production faster, cheaper, and more efficient, increasing supply. Lower production taxes reduce costs and increase supply. Higher taxes make goods more expensive to produce, decreasing supply. A subsidy is financial support from the government to help producers. When subsidies increase, costs fall and supply rises. The goals of a business also matter. If firms focus on maximizing profit, they may limit supply to keep prices higher. If they target more sales or market share, they'll increase supply even if profits per item drop. So, to recap, supply shows how much producers are willing to sell at different prices. The law of supply says that if everything else, like wages and material costs, stays the same, producers will offer more at higher prices. Increasing costs of production remind us that efficiency has limits, even at the sweet spot. And determinants of supply explain what external factors can shift the entire supply curve. Understanding these ideas helps us see how businesses react to real-world changes, from technology and taxes to weather and worker productivity. Supply is one of the building blocks of economics. It helps us understand how businesses make decisions and how prices influence production. When you can recognize the factors that affect supply, you can better predict how markets respond to changes around us, from food and fuel to fashion and technology. Thanks for watching, and stay curious about how the world of economics shapes the choices we see every day.